What is up, everybody? We're on day 172 of our Bible in a Year series, continuing in Psalms today, and specifically Psalm 73. We're starting off book 3 today, so let's jump straight into it. Psalm 73. God is indeed good to Israel, to the pure in heart, but as for me, my feet almost slipped, my steps nearly went astray, for I envied the arrogant, I saw the prosperity of the wicked. They have an easy time until they die, and their bodies are well fed. They are not in trouble like others, they are not afflicted like most. Therefore, pride is their necklace, and violence covers them like a garment. Their eyes bulge out from fatness, the imagination of their hearts run wild. They mock and they speak maliciously. They arrogantly threaten oppression. They set their mouths against heaven, and their tongues strut across the earth. Therefore his people turn to them and drink in their overflowing words. The wicked say, how can God know? Does the Most High know everything? Look at them. The wicked, they are always at ease, and they increase their wealth. Did I purify my heart and wash my hands in innocence for nothing? For I am afflicted all day long and punished every morning. If I had decided to say these things aloud, I would have betrayed your people. When I tried to understand all this, it seemed hopeless, until I entered God's sanctuary. Then I understood their destiny. Indeed, you put them in slippery places, you make them fall into ruin. How suddenly they become a desolation. They come to an end, swept away by terrors, like one waking from a dream. Lord, when arising, you will despise their image. When I become embittered, and my innermost being was wounded, I was stupid and didn't understand. I was unthinking. I was an unthinking animal toward you. Yet I am always with you. You hold my right hand. You guide me with your counsel. And afterward, you will take me up in glory. Who do I have in heaven but you? And I desire nothing on earth but you. My flesh and my heart may fail, but God is my strength of my heart, my portion forever. Those far from you will certainly perish. You destroy all who are unfaithful to you. But as for me, God's presence is my good. I have made the Lord God my refuge, so I can tell about all you do. 74. Why have you rejected us forever? God, why does your anger burn against the sheep of your pasture? Remember your congregation, which you purchased long ago and redeemed as a tribe as your own possession. Remember Mount Zion, where you dwell. Make your way to the perpetual ruins, to all that the enemy has destroyed in the sanctuary. Your adversaries roared in the meeting place where you met with us. They set up their emblems as signs. It was like men in a thicket of trees, wielding axes, then smashing all the carvings with hatchets and picks. They set your sanctuary on fire. They utterly desecrated the dwelling place of your name. They said in their hearts, let's oppress them relentlessly. They burned every place throughout the land where God met with us. There are no signs for us to see. There is no longer a prophet, and none of us knows how long this will last. God, how long will the enemy mock? Will the foe insult your name forever? Why do you hold back your hand, stretch out your right hand, and destroy them? God, my King, is from ancient times, performing saving acts on the earth. You divided the sea with your strength. You smashed the heads of the sea monster in the water. You crushed the heads of the Leviathan. You fed him to the creatures of the desert. Now remember, we talked about Leviathan back in Job. So, a little reference you can go back to. Verse 15. You opened up springs and streams. You dried up ever-flowing rivers. The day is yours, also the night. You established the moon and the sun. You set all the boundaries of the earth. You made summer and winter. Remember this. The enemy has mocked the Lord, and the foolish people has insulted your name. Do not give the beast the life of your dove. Do not forget the lives of your poor people forever. Consider the covenant, for the dark places of the land are full of violence. Do not let the oppressed turn away in shame. Let the poor and needy praise your name. Rise up, God, champion your cause. Remember the insults that fools bring against you all day long. Do not forget the clamor of your adversaries, the tumult of your opponents that goes up constantly. Chapter 75. We give thanks to you, God. We give thanks to you, for your name is near. People tell about your wondrous works. When I choose a time, I will judge fairly. When the earth and all its inhabitants shake, I am the one who steadies the pillars. I say to the boastful, do not boast, and to the wicked, do not lift up your horn. Do not lift up your horn against heaven or speak arrogantly. Exaltation does not come from the east, the west, or the desert, for God is the judge. He brings down one and exalts another, for there is a cup in the Lord's hand, full of wine blended with spices, and he pours from it. All the wicked of the earth will drink, draining it to the dregs. As for me, I will tell about him forever. I will sing praise to the God of Jacob. I will cut off all horns of the wicked, but the horns of the righteous will be lifted up. 76. God is known in Judah, his name is great in Israel, his tent is in Salem, his dwelling place in Zion. There he shatters the bows, flaming arrows, the shield, the sword, and the weapons of war. You are res- resplendent and majestic, coming down from the mountains of prey. The brave-hearted have been plundered. They have slipped into their final sleep. None of the warriors was able to lift a hand. At your rebuke, God of Jacob, both chariot and horse lay still, and you are to be feared when you are angry. Who can stand before you? From heaven you pronounced judgment. The earth feared and grew quiet. When God rose up to judge and to save all the lowly of the earth, even human wrath will praise you. You will clothe yourself with the wrath that remains. Make and keep your vows to the Lord your God. Let all who are around him bring tribute to the awe-inspiring one. He humbles the spirit of leaders. He is feared by the kings of the earth. 77, last chapter for today. I cry aloud to God, and he will hear me. I sought the Lord in my day of trouble. My hands were continually lifted up all night long. I refuse to be comforted. I think of God. I groan. I meditate. My spirit becomes weak. You have kept me from closing my eyes. I am troubled and cannot speak. I consider days of old, years long past. At night I remember my music. I meditate in my heart, and my spirit ponders. Will the Lord reject forever and never again show favor? Has his faithful love ceased forever? Is his promise at an end for all generations? Has God forgotten to be gracious? Has he in anger withheld his compassion? So I say, I am grieved that the right hand of the Most High has changed. I will remember the Lord's work. Yes, I will remember your ancient wonders. I will reflect on all you have done and meditate on your actions. God, your way is holy. What God is great like you? Like God. You are the God who works wonders. You revealed your strength among the peoples. With the power you redeemed your people, the descendants of Jacob and Joseph. The water saw you, God, the water saw you. It trembled, and even the depths shook. The clouds poured down water. The storm's clouds thundered. Your arrows flashed back and forth. The sound of your thunder was in the whirlwind, lighting lit, lightning lit up the world. The earth shook and quaked. Your way went through the sea, and your path through the vast water, but your footprints were unseen. You led your people like a flock by the hand of Moses and Aaron. Okay, so kind of random, but I like the imagery of what is it? Okay, I don't see it now. But it says the water saw God and it trembled. So I like the imagery of things like that having reactions like that, or like there's a song, I think it's called Tremble, and I think it's the chorus. It says, um, Jesus makes the darkness tremble. Like, just the idea that that is how much power God has. Even something like darkness or water or, whatever trembles at his name. But I digress. Let's jump into our questions. Question one: Psalm 73 struggle with envying the wicked's prosperity. How does this honesty challenge us to confront our own doubts and find peace in God's eternal perspective over temporary gains? Um, I think it's good sometimes to just stop and really evaluate where you're at, what you're feeling, why you're feeling it, um, things like that. I think it can be very. Mm, I think it can be very easy to lose sight of what's really important and what you should really be focusing on. And you can start focusing on somebody that's wicked, their prosperity, and how well they're doing, and things like that. And so I do think, if I try to, if I notice myself getting angry or aggravated or agitated or anything like that, I try to stop and really like think through, like, why am I feeling like this? Is this a legitimate feeling? And it's usually not. I usually know going into it it's not. I just have to kind of think through it and process it. But I think it's a good practice to get into. Question two: Psalm 74 and 77 recall God's past deliverance to plead for help. How might this practice of remembering his works prompt us to anchor our hope in his unchanging power during present trials? Um, we've hit on this several times, but keeping our focus on God, um, keeping faith, and so faith, like we've talked about, is not just it's not just belief for no reason. It's belief based on evidence or based on past experience. And so having that you stick to, knowing the character of God and things like that, hold on to that even in the midst of things being dark or uncertain or dangerous or whatever you're going through or dealing with. Holding on to that in those moments is a big deal. That's that's where you really kind of start winning some of these battles mentally, I think. Question three: Psalm 76 celebrates God's judgment on the wicked. How does this assurance invite us to wrestle with the trusting his righteous rule, even when injustice seems to prevail, anticipating Christ's final victory? Knowing that ultimately, in the end, justice will be served. And also, I've touched on this before too, knowing that we don't get what we deserve. I brought up the band Reliant K before, and they've kind of gone a little wonky, I think, in recent years. But they, they have a song, and there's a lyric in the song that says, "The beauty of grace is that it makes life not fair," and it's true. If it was fair, we would get what we deserve, and we don't. We do not get what we deserve, um, not by a long shot, and because of that, we I was going somewhere with this, and I just completely lost my train of thought. Oh, we can know that ultimately God is going to be just, and there's going to be justice served on everything when we get to the final days. Um, but that may not look the way that we think. And think about this too: that justice has already been poured out or paid on Jesus for believers. So, yeah, that is it for today. Appreciate everyone watching and listening up to this point. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If this has been a blessing to you, consider sharing it with other people. Word of mouth is the best way that podcasts spread, and you could help somebody stick with the daily Bible reading plan. We're doing this every single day, so new videos every single day. And I've got some other stuff in the pipeline that I'm working on, which has caused some of these to get a little later in their recording and releasing. But we're sticking with it. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff coming. Important stuff coming. So it's going to be good. Tomorrow we'll be back in Psalms again. You don't want to miss it. So don't forget to come back. Thanks. God bless.